Callum Mills and Taylor Adams alongside Indy Kirk. And Will Green doing the ruck work against Hudson O'Keefe. We are underway for round 8 of VFL action. And here's Mills, can't quite get onto it. First of all, O'Keefe follows up from the ruck work. Geddes is there for the Swans. O'Keefe wrapped up by Green. Ball comes to ground and out for Carlton. Plenty of Swans around it. Geddes. Here's Adams. He'll kick backwards. All the way to Snell. Mills has dropped back and he'll get his first touch of the footy, Callum Mills. Long switching kick. Works out nicely. Leadler on the end of that one. Missed Indy Kirk. Turnover here. Camporeale. Inside 50 he goes. Snell is under it for the Swans. McMahon for Carlton. McMahon can line up for goal there. McMahon for the first. Misses to the near side, just hooked it too far. Callum Mills gets an early touch. Carlton with the first point at the SCG.
And a rare miss for Lee McMahon as well, who's been so accurate this year, kicking at 75% for goal. Lockie Hunter on kick-out duty. Wide, good mark from Longmire, who moves it ahead. And the diving mark, has he taken it inside? He has. So Swans have possession. Between wing and half back, and there's Mills again. Short chip to Adams. So a couple of good starts for Mills. They switch the play. Footy in the hands of McDonald. Now wide to Hunter on that left foot. He finds Geddes on the run. They move it well here, Swans. They've worked it out across the other side of the ground to the one-on-one in the goal square. No mark. Buller was the one who went up for the home team. Doherty to mop up. Short kick. Misses his target. And does it stay in? Yes. Clever from Wilson, pardon me.
Vickery, former Swan, couple of years on the Swans list. He kicked long looking for Lemmy. Hunter, McDonald, and now Kirk. Swans had some numbers in the corridor, but Kirk left it behind. McDonald comes back to clean up. Here's Hanley. Adams. Closed down straight away. Carlton forced the turnover. Camporeale got one behind him in Doherty. He doesn't know where to go next. Holds it up. Composed from Doherty as always. Nelson. Looks for Moyer. Had a short option in the pocket. McMahon and Lemmy are the taller options deep. Sits it up for Lemmy in the pocket. Good body work, but it's nicely done by Leadler to force the boundary throw in. Both clubs wearing their Indigenous Guernseys today. The Marngrook clash in the AFL when this one concludes at the SCG. So good to see that for the Indigenous round, and it's so great to see these Indigenous Guernseys extending into the VFL as well.
Will Green doing the ruck for the Swans up against Hudson O'Keefe, two young prospects. O'Keefe's at the front, bobbles out of his hands. Kirk there for the Swans, hands on it. Takes a dive towards the line, wasn't close enough to disguise it, so the footy's still in play. McDonald has had a hot start for the Swans. Finds Leadler. Mark is taken. Longmire grabs the footy and delivers long to a 2-on-1 against Bowman. Well, he had the mark. And looking the wrong way, spills it. Doherty mops up for Carlton. Looks forward, then instead goes back. Nathan Phillips with the relieving grab in his defensive 50. Just a behind on the board. Risky kick out in front of his teammate. A dash from Chincotta. And they move it up the boundary line. Nelson has the footy, little chip inside 50. And that will go out of bounds inside the Carlton attacking arc.
So recapping that late change for Carlton, Lucas Camporeale is out. Looks like he's been held over as one of the AFL emergencies in case there's something in the warm-up that happens there. The Swans as listed. Will Hayes is the one that comes in for Carlton for Camporeale. O'Keefe claims this one out of the ruck. Here's Chincotta on return. Snaps it to the top of the goal square. Able to clean it up for the Swans was Patton. Longmire has a bounce in the pocket and goes as high as he can. Hayden McLean, this is his first involvement, can't get to the full of that one. Carlton will go quickly through Doherty. Hayes couldn't quite hold on to that one. A little bit of a slippery footy. It's been raining this week in Sydney. Adams, clever tap to Mills. And he gave to his teammate in Klasky. Inside 50 they go for Buller. Running back with the flight. Terrific terrific defensive work from Harry O'Farrell to force the stoppage.
Yeah, Buller had the drop there. He got the best of his opponent, O'Farrell, but that late speed from the 19-year-old, pick 40 in the 2024 draft, Harry O'Farrell, shutting down what would have been a pretty routine set shot for Jack Buller. So footy will be thrown in. Swans are going to get on the board. McLean doing the ruck work. Chincotta's there. He has a fresh area. Mills was clever. Out to Kirk, outside of his right foot. There's a goalkeeper at home. It's Phillips. He marks. And Carlton work it out. Put themselves under a bit more pressure. Monahan and Wilson combining. The kick up the line is poor. And marking is Patton.
So to the corridor go the Swans. Here's Lockie Hunter. Played a couple of games in the VFL this year after early retirement last year, coming out of retirement to help out the Swans. Longmire, wobbly old kick inside 50. It'll bounce before anybody can get to it. Monahan, hand pass backwards, missed. Phillips, now he's under some pressure. Finds the relieving target in Nelson. He's got some space in front of him, Luke Nelson. Not quite sure where to go next. He waits for Wilson. And he's closed down, so he's forced to kick, and it's still all Swans up the line. Hunter leads all comers. Got a favourable enough bounce and found Snell. Short kick, looking for Tideman. Did well to bring that down, and that's created some space. Enderman, Patton, looks inside 50, can't hit a target. Hayes is there for Carlton.
Will Hayes, the late in. He's been handing up on Mills to start. That's a good matchup. So Carlton move it out towards the western wing. Kicked out in front. Ollie Poole with the footy. Stops, has a look up. He makes hard work for McMahon. Does his best. Still up for grabs. Swans have the numbers. They pick it up, big kick, straight up in the air. No one there to mark it. Wouldn't have been paid anyway. Footy still live. Patton tackles, comes to Chincotta. Hands come. Green is there for the Swans. Moves a body out of the way and then dives on it. Could be in danger. Ball came out. Swans with numbers around the footy. Edwards, little 1-2 by hand, and he gets it to Indy Kirk.
So up this line the Swans go. McLean got some little bit of space on his opponent, and he'll try to go quickly as well. Buller running inside 50 is Tideman and Geddes. He goes to Geddes, the deeper option, and it's a perfect kick. Lovely kick from Jack Buller. Max Geddes made the run down the wing. Instead of going to the pocket in Tideman, he looked more centrally. And Geddes will line up for goal.
Yeah, Tideman looked like the option. He was in the goal square. He had separation on his opponent, but the opponent agreed, went to him, and it meant that the pulled kick to Geddes across the body was perfect. Sets up an easy shot on goal.
And Max Geddes, for the first goal of the afternoon here at the SCG, makes no mistake from directly in front. He's got the first goal of round 8 of the VFL. The Swans lead 1 straight 6. Carlton just the one behind.
It's been a bit of a scrappy start from both teams. Turnovers, clean possession, a lot of ball in dispute, but they've rebounded well from half back, the home team. Longmire in particular has started pretty well, as has Hunter. So Hunter's had 6 possessions alongside Doherty and Mills. Doherty, Hunter and Mills all leading possession getters.
Callum Mills has made his way to the bench now for the Swans, so we expect him to be on managed minutes today, whether that's playing the majority of a half or so, or whether that's managed minutes across the whole game. We'll keep an eye on that, but currently on the bench for Sydney.
Back in the middle of the ground, Swans with the first goal of the first game of VFL round 8. Tap from Green. Comes to Kirk. Makes his way around the back of the circle. Long entry to the lead of McLean. Held the space and took a mark in the tummy in the end. He'll get back and have his shot for goal. Drop this week. He'll want to start with a goal in the first quarter here, Hayden McLean.
Rarely been seen in the VFL recently, Hayden McLean. Played just one VFL game since 2022. Been a stalwart of the AFL side since coming in to that 2022 grand final side after playing most of the year in the VFL. He's been in the AFL team the whole time, but now back in VFL.
Slide angle from 45. Hayden McLean dropped to the twos, and the kick is going to launch itself into the left-hand upright. So behind, 117, to 1 behind. The Swans lead by a kick.
Never been goalless this year, Hayden McLean. 11 goals from his 7 AFL games.
Yet finds himself in the VFL.
Maybe these coaches think there's more to the game than kicking goals. They might be onto something. Doherty launches it high. Carlton will try to go quickly on the turnover. Hogg is involved. Ramshaw. Nice little step to find space, and they're streaming forward here, Carlton. Phipps Parsons hits Moyer on the chest. That was blistering ball movement from defensive 50 to forward 50 for Carlton. Happened in the blink of an eye, and Ashton Moyer will line up for their first.
Yeah, and it was the little step of the co-captain, Ramshaw. Plenty of VFL experience, his 4th season here with the Blues. Opened up that forward channel, and Moyer looked to get on the board. He's in goal-kicking form.
Ashton Moyer. His potent Carlton forward line. Misses this one to the near side. Ashton Moyer. A couple of behinds to start proceedings for Carlton. The Swans 1-1-7, a little more, taking their chances a little better in front of goal.
Lockie Hunter hands the footy to Ben Patton on the Torres Strait Islander flag. Looks to go down the middle at the last minute. The lead came from Adams. A set play that works out. Adams, the diving mark outside 50, and now they'll look to bring it back through the corridor. Hands off. 2-on-1, Swans way. The kick wasn't great. Adams has worked his way to the front of the contest. Outside of the boot, Longmire. Liedler now inside 50, and the mark from Kirk plays on from 48 metres, and it was never straight. Another behind, 1-2-8 to 2 behinds. 1 kick still the difference. Swans lead nearly 12 minutes into the first quarter.
Andy Kirk coming off his best game of the season last week. 24 disposals against Essendon. Swans still went down in that clash. Big loss. 65 points. Heavy defeat. Up the line, the ball going to make its way out of bounds. Swans coming off a 65-point loss. Carlton also coming off a loss. No, they beat Sandringham by 18 points last week. 2 wins, 4 losses for Carlton so far this VFL season. Swans 1 win, 5 losses. Both teams at the wrong end of the VFL ladder at the moment.
Ball spun back in. It'll land just outside the attacking arc. There's Mills. He's back on. Couldn't grab the footy. There to intercept was Ferronato. Kick comes forward, but well-bodied, well-judged. Tom Longmire. Turning 22 this month. Well, that is an up and under. Mark that, he says, and running straight at it. No one else judged it. It was a good grab from Hitchens. Outside 50. His kick, his touch. Play on. Hanley in a 1-on-4. Taps it forward. Didn't help the cause. Oh, coming straight through. A bruiser. Standing underneath it was Darcy Hogg, who copped it from Patton. He gets up and is awarded the 50-metre penalty.
Just misjudged that one. Ben Patton was never going to make an impact on that contest. Just late contact. Inside 50 they go. Mills picks that one off, then cops a heavy bump. Plays on. Ferronato for Carlton. Just missing their opportunities at the moment, the Blues. Mills getting straight up after that little bump. He's all good to keep going. Another minor score for Carlton. 3 behinds they have. The Swans 1-2-8.
Lockie Hunter. Touch number 7 awaits him here if he takes the little step outside, which of course he does. He's clever. He's played AFL before. He goes forward, circles back, the U-turn, and kicks it to Liedler in the right back pocket for the Swans.
To get any metres gained for that, Hunter, he ran forward 10 metres and then kicked it back where he came from.
I would say that's, 0. Oh, and a slip from Liedler. They're in trouble here, the Swans. The turnover comes, but a great tackle. Strong stuff on Harvey. Have a ball up just inside 50. Carlton attacking end. Swans lead by 5.
Byron Law's doing well to make up for his teammate's mistake. Edwards. Here's Mills right in front of the members' pavilion, and that'll be seen out of bounds. Great to see Callum Mills back. His first VFL game ever. Played 9 NEFL games prior to being drafted in 2014 and 15. Never played in the VFL before, so it's always a first for some players. The Swans captain, great to see him out at any level after the torrid injury time that he's had. Green, Hayes, Moyer, scrubbing little kick forward. It might work out. Kick back towards the top of the goal square from Poole. Fist over the top is nicely done from Lloyd. So Carlton earn themselves a boundary throw-in next to the point post. Still looking for their first goal. We're now 15 minutes into the first quarter. Carlton yet to get on the board in a major way, just the 3 behinds for them.
Interesting to see Matty Lloyd, who's spending a lot of time in the back half. He's their leading goal kicker this year, so he's kicked 10, but he's spending time in the defensive half. Mills up to spike it forward. Doesn't quite work out on first go. Lloyd is there. Bumped off the ball as he kicked. Numbers with Carlton just outside 50. Duffy, the hands, isn't clean. It's slippery out there. It's been raining all week. Not raining right now, but the high tackle from Buller awards the free kick to Farinado. Had 19 touches and 5 tackles last week in their win against the Zebras. From 55 metres to the pocket. Big pack of players. And no mark over the boundary line. Moya gives a bit of a shove. And they'll continue on their fun. Longmire and Moya matched up against each other today. We're in the Carlton forward 50. A low-scoring one. Swans lead by 5.
Green and Lemmy to do the ruck work. Moya is there. Ramshaw. Still the ball on the ground. A lot of players around it. Eventually it comes out. Lloyd clears defensive 50. Klasky just bounced off his chest and lost his footing. Pretty slippery conditions out there. Looks like we're set for a stoppage. Callum Mills, it's been good so far. He's certainly not shirking any contact. He's gotten a couple of big bumps, big tackles. He's very happy to get involved, not tentative. His first game in a long time. Edwards wins the clearance. Buller in a one-on-one. Got 2 hands to it but couldn't mark. Did enough to earn the free kick for chopping the arms. And they'll try to go on the counter here, the Swans. Buller holds it up with nothing forthcoming. Mills wanted it in the centre of the grounds. Might eventually get on the end of it, Callum Mills. Goes to Lloyd first, and now Mills will get it. He chips backwards. Back to the corridor rather, Tideman. He'll go back to Mills. Getting his hands on the footy early, Callum Mills.
Every Carlton player in front of him except one. So not much space ahead for the Swans.
Patton. Now Hunter. He takes some space in front of him, and a kick is smothered. Good work from Poole. Patton leads the race back. Snell. Hunter. Gets the kick away quickly, but the Swans are now under pressure. Doherty. Wilson. Nice one-handed collect. Finds McMahon. Excellent work from Carlton to force the turnover.
So they have the footy in their hands, Carlton, and they will go backwards. McMahon to Wilson. His coach, Luke Power, said his best game in blue last week. He retreats to O'Farrell, and they move it all the way to the other side. Phillips. He doesn't like what he has on the western wing, so it's back with Wilson. Point of the square. It's great delivery. Hogg marks. Now they find that central corridor. They want to go through the middle. And Duffy, the short chip. Hayes, wide now. Running through was Phipps Parson. On his right foot, delivers to the top of the 50. Bit of volleyball action. Umpire blows the whistle. Mills had it. They played on. They're away, the Swans. They get advantage. And they have it as well. Adams marks. Front edge of the centre square. He was never lined up. Carlton weren't happy about it, and he took the advantage that he had to find Buller 35 metres out right in front. Adams was playing a different game just then.
Cleverly done from Taylor Adams. Knew just exactly how to manipulate the space in front of him. And as those Swans players streamed inside 50, there were too many for the Carlton players to deal with on the left. Buller on his own. Jack Buller will line up for the Swans' seconds. Nearly 20 minutes gone in this first quarter. Still looking for our second goal.
Buller's kicked majors in 4 out of 6 of his games this year. It's been a bit inaccurate. This is right in front, though. Jack Buller for the second goal for the Swans. Makes the umpire work for it, but slots it through. So the Swans have the first 2 goals here in the opener of round 8, Smithy's VFL here at the SCG. The doubleheader in this VFL AFL clash. Swans, the early jump, 2-2-14-0-3-3.
So Jack Buller will be the key forward today in the VFL, along with Hayden McLean, who'll also do some ruck work alongside Will Green. It's been Pete Laddams who's played a lot of that role that McLean's playing in the Swans VFL side, but he's been promoted to the AFL this week. Pete Laddams. Swans also missing Caleb Mitchell, who's injured. Changes for Carlton as well. Mark Pitton and Jordan Boyd promoted to the AFL. Taj Logan making his VFL debut. So in the number 68, Taj Logan from Diamond Creek.
Quick numbers for you. Justin Mills with 10 touches leads them all. Hunter right behind him with 9. Chincotta lining up on Mills right now. He's had a slower start in his comeback match.
It's good to see Callum Mills straight back into the thick of the action and racking up the disposals. His return to footy. It's a welcome sight for Swans fans and all footy fans. Edwards got Mills running past it, collects it again. Can't get it this time. Chincotta did great defensive work. Camporeale inside 50. A bouncing ball. Lemmy doesn't quite have the turning circle of his teammate. On the outside of the boot, it's beautifully done from Poole. Outside of the left boot, worked out the angles beautifully. And Carlton have their first, straight from the centre bounce.
Yeah, wow. Angles wasn't a thing for Poole. Had one quick look at the sticks, threw it down on his left boot, and judged it to perfection. Ollie Poole, a goal last week, known for more that defensive pressure. So when he can add a goal a game, that is golden for Ollie Poole.
There's a lot of dark clouds above the SCG at the moment. We might be getting some rain, if not in this game, perhaps in the next game. Hopefully it's all just going to pass us by. And there does look to be a little bit of a wind advantage going to the Paddington end of the SCG, which is where Carlton are kicking to in this quarter. That's just what the flags on top of the members stand, saying a slight breeze advantage for the team kicking it to the Paddington end.
McLean sticks his knee into O'Keefe. Camporeale with a smart handball. Inside 50 from Hogg. Carlton have the footy. They swing around on the right. And another miss. Was that Cooper Vickery?
Farinado.
Farinado. Who couldn't quite work the angles like his teammate Poole had. It's a minus score. 14 plays 10.
22 minutes gone in this first quarter. Lockie Hunter to take the kick in for the Swans. Mills presented. Opts against it, and we'll look for something a little longer. Hunter. McLean is the target, but had 3 Carlton players to beat. So Farrell taking an excellent intercept mark. He's been really good in defence thus far for the Blues. Inside 50 he goes. It's a one-on-one. Snell on Lemmy, and Lemmy was too strong.
Great call, Justin. The body work. It was a long kick, perfectly set up for him to just hold that space, hold off his man. And now around the body shot for him from that left forward pocket.
Had 2 goalless weeks, Harry Lemmy, after 7 goals in his first 4 games. He won't be goalless today. Perfect kick from Harry Lemmy. He's got his first. Carlton take the lead. 2 goals, which they've probably earned in this first quarter. Had plenty of footy up their end of the ground. 2 goals each, 2-4-16. Carlton lead the Swans 2-2-14.
Yeah, they go ahead for the first time since that early behind. We've played 23 minutes in this first quarter. If you're tuning in just to watch the comeback of the Sydney Swans captain, Mills has been productive. And he's been out there for most of the quarter as well. He will start this centre bounce. He's got 10 touches, Hunter 10 touches, but Carlton, who are probably the fancy team today, they're higher on the ladder. They have one more AFL listed player. They have regained the lead. Ball will be thrown up. That's interesting. No bounce. Green v O'Keefe in the middle. And Green, the young ruckman, grabs it off the ground, throws it on the boot and surges forward for the Swans. Kluski, half a kick. Comes back to him. He breaks out of the contest and on his right boot. Fortuitous, but you got to finish him still. Swans grab the lead. 3-2-20, 2-4-16.
Nicely done by Jack Kluski. Just read it best. Popped out in front of him, was clean with it, and a nice snap-on goal. Swans with 3 of the opening quarter's 5 goals.
Great clearance from Will Green as well. It's a bit slippery in the middle there. As we've said, plenty of rain over the last 48 hours here in Sydney. He just bent down and grabbed it. It was a lolly from the lolly jar. Threw it on the boot. That chaos entry caused issues for the Carlton back six.
It's pretty good midfield at the moment for the Swans. Mills and Taylor Adams there. That would be an AFL midfield and probably will be an AFL midfield in the coming weeks for the Swans. That's a tough ask for the Blues in there. As we head for another centre bounce. Green and O'Keefe. A lot of contact. It ended up falling in the lap of O'Keefe. He wins the clearance. It's a high kick. Geddes did well defensively. It still is there for Carlton. Hayes for Lemmy. He's paid that mark. I wonder if he'll be paid it where he initially grabbed it. You will be. So the man on the mark will have to come back a few metres. Nicely done by Harry Lemmy again. He's looking lively in that forward line for Carlton.
Service from Will Hayes as well. Soft kick. Lemmy could run onto it. It gave Tom Longmire very little chance.
He's got one goal from the opposite pocket. It looks a good kick from Harry Lemmy. Sensational from the boundary line. And he turns to the 8 or 10 people that are here early in the Carlton cheer squad, and they loved it as well.
He's kicked that from a foot outside the field of play. Toughest place to kick it as a right footer. And it's had to travel 50 plus. So that is top shelf from Harry Lemmy.
Just never looked like missing. As soon as off the boot, you went, oh, that's a goal. That's going on half post height. Exceptional from Harry Lemmy. Couple of goals already. And a nice high-scoring clash we've got here at the moment. It was quiet for those first 15 or 20 minutes, but a lot of goals recently. 3 goals for each side.
Harry Lemmy, 2 goals already. His best output this year is 3 against North Melbourne. Haven't seen McMahon on the board yet. When he gets on the board, we'll tell you a bit about his season. He is in red-hot form. Umpire blows the whistle. It'll go the way, I think, of O'Keefe, or is it going to go to Hayes? Either way, it's a Carlton free kick. The ruckman has it. O'Keefe. Moyer runs around him. On his left foot, kicks out in front of a leading Poole. He turns on his left. Wastes no time. From the forward flank to the hot spot. Big spoil attempt came. No connection on it. It was lucky for Laws. If a Carlton player was standing over the back, that would have been easy picking. So ball up, left forward pocket for the Blues. They lead by 2.
O'Keefe attends this ruck contest. Just push Green out of the way. Too strong, but missed.
Ooh, that's bad.
Did the difficult work, Hudson O'Keefe, but just missed the snap-on goal from close range. Another minor score for Carlton.
He can't get much closer. He was almost at the top of the goal square. That's a let-off for the Swans. Patton, footy in his hands. Short lead from Leadler. Back to Patton. His chip kick just offers a little bit too much to the Carlton defence. Turnover in a dangerous spot. Footy with Phipps past and wide kick. And I think Lemmy's marked that within a foot. Oh, and he plays on. So that is easy pickings for Lemmy. He's got a season-high 3 goals. Came from a turnover. Too much air on that Patton kick. And Carlton pounce. They extend their lead to 9 points.
That was really difficult for Harry Lemmy. That is a lot harder than it looks. Running backwards towards goal with the slippery ball and slippery ground, he had to one grab it. If he had have fumbled it, it would have been a rush behind. So he one grabbed it, took the mark inside of the field of play, and then clever to play on, knowing he could, had the time to do it and kick the goal. 3 goals in a quarter for Harry Lemmy. What a quarter he's having. Carlton in the lead.
Well, you think of Tom Longmire as well, who couldn't do anything about the contest before. So Lemmy has the shot outside the ground, outside the field of play, and then just then a turnover. You hate that as a defender. He's not done a long wrong, but his opponent has 3 goals.
Mills shrugs off the tackle, gives to Edwards. Nicely done by Mills. Inside 50, the Swans go. Buller is there, brought it to ground. Tackle laid by McLean was high. A free kick going the way of the Blues and Matt Duffy. Great story, Matt Duffy. Finally made his VFL debut last week after injuring his ACL and missed a whole year, the Irishman. Great to see him out there.
Debuted on Mother's Day. His mum came across for it as well. Unfortunately, he's turned it over. It's Cal Mills, ball in hand, and that is a dagger. He has pierced that onto the chest of a teammate who will kick for goal. Callum Mills, the intercept mark. And it'll be a kick on goal for Tom Hitchens.
Swans fans will like what they are seeing from Callum Mills thus far. Looks like he's barely missed a beat, just straight back into it. I think if Dean Cox is watching, he might bring him off soon. Be like, it's enough. We've seen enough, Cal.
Tom Hitchens, the 19-year-old from Sydney Uni, he's played 4 VFL games. He just got silver service from Callum Mills, and he says, yes, I'll take a bit more of that. Might just be his favourite goal he's ever kicked. Gets the Swans back within a couple of points. It is 4-5-29 to 4-2-26. 30 minutes travelled in this first quarter. Carlton up by 3.
Been a great opening term thus far. Started off a little slow. Harry Lemmy at one end of the grounds and Callum Mills in the middle along with Taylor Adams. Alex Cincotta getting involved in his return. It's been some high-quality stuff we're seeing so far at the SCG.
We saw a 10-goal first quarter in the last game here at the SCG in the curtain closer. We've seen 8 goals, 7 already. Let's hope it stays that way and those heavy, heavy grey clouds don't bucket down.
Back in the centre of the ground. See a few of the Swans senior players are making their way down towards the bench. Tom Papley among them won't be out there for the seniors. This clearance, Hanley coming in from the forward 50. Cincotta at ground level. Went through Mills's legs. Patton got boot to ball, but straight into the arms of Hayes, who kicks forward, and there is the quarter-time siren. So it won't be time for Carlton to get another goal on the board. High-quality first term, and great to see Callum Mills get through a quarter of footy in his return. It's Carlton 4-5-29, the Swans 4-2.
Hogg, you can see Cincotta as well. He's standing alongside Indy Kirk. Having some troubles with the bounce today, the umps. They resulted to just balling it up from the get-go, and they will do that again here to start the second term. O'Keefe into Green. Footy comes to Cincotta, and Mills has a clamp on him. Another ball up just to the right of the centre circle. O'Keefe, nice tap. Campriali, he gets a touch on it towards Hayes. Spilt it, Patton picked it up, so Hayes applies the tackle. Basically moved a couple of metres in the first 30 or 40 seconds of this second term. Green, nice tap. Mills, second go at it, uses hands this time instead. Comes towards Bowman, Mills goes in again. He looks all right, but he touched his head straight away. Turnover to Carlton in the middle of the ground. Campriali loses his feet. Handball to Nelson. He goes wider still. And they mark just outside 50. It's with Poole on his left foot to the goal square. Moya circles round. Spoiled. And that's hands straight over the boundary line. You can't do that these days.
Harry Lemmy, very quick to pick the ball up. I'll have this one. Thank you very much. Taking it off him.
Will Hayes will receive the free kick from the left forward pocket for Carlton. Just over a minute gone, first term. Carlton lead by 3. Will Hayes round the corner. And near side. Minor score to start the second term. Blues lead by 4.
This one's going to have no complaints about that free kick. It was one of the most obvious we've ever seen. Just hand pass directly over the boundary line. Doesn't cost them too much, only the 1 point. Here's Patton to bring the ball back into play. A long kick, looking for Hayden McLean. Gets to the front, McLean, but it's over his head. Buller has read it best, got the crumb out the back. Kluski. Adams runs ahead of him. Inside 50, they've got one-on-one. It's a nice hand pass to Hanley. He can line up for goal. Instead goes the short kick to Tideman. Beautiful play from the Swans. They go end to end in about 10 seconds, and it'll end with a shot on goal for James Tideman.
It was well done from Tideman, who was flooding towards goal. He wanted that kick over the top, but he saw that slight halt in play. The handball was a bit high, and so he doubled back that lead. Good forward craft from James Tideman.
Big pack of players on the wing, about 8 of them, and they all misread it. Jack Buller, the only one who kept his feet out the back. So Tideman, for the first of the second term, beautiful kick. Swans retake the lead, 5-2-32. Carlton 4-6-30, nearly 3 minutes gone in this second quarter.
James Tideman, Swans Academy player. He's played every VFL game this year for the Sydney Swans. Just the 1 goal so far coming into this game. So A good moment there for the youngster. Small forward, just 176 centimetres. So handy goal, as he said, gets the Swans back the lead. They're up by 2. Seesawing affair here at the SCG.
Swans getting some early goals. Scoring has been a big problem for them so far in this VFL season. They've kicked 10 goals in a match only once, and 75, their highest total score. That was in their win over Werribee in round 4. Already got 5 goals on the board.
That is not a good bounce. They've played it on.
I can't believe that's been played on.
That's 3 metres outside the centre circle.
It wasn't even like high.
Throws it up. Let's restart it. Let's pretend that didn't happen, the umpire says. Patton with hands. McDonald, shonky old kick up the line, makes it tough. Mills is there. Oh, his legs are taken. He's tackled as well. Footy won't come out, so umpire will ball it up on the eastern wing. He's helped up by his fellow usual AFL player, Sam Doherty. Couple of misses. Green again picks it up, so the ruckman clean hands, but then as depossessed, is that a word? Who knows? Turnover for the Swans. McDonald with the footy.
Dispossessed.
Dispossessed, that's the one. Thank you, Justin.
Lloyd. Sees some players up the corridor. Callum Mills is one of them. It's picked off nicely by Wilson. Now there's a chance for Carlton on the counter if Wilson can go quickly. He sees Hayes. Opts for something a little deeper. Lemmy was the target who had some space on the lead, but the kick just let the Carlton down. Patton. Now Adams. Bowman. Nice spin to collect. Wants his right boot and finds it. Here's Hanley. Running inside 50. Can give off to a teammate. One more over the top. Kluski the hand pass just missed him and he had to get on his bike to chase it. That would have been a shot on goal with a bit of hand pass. It's going to come back though. Bowman intercepts Phillips' kick. Sees some targets inside 50, but it's more congested now than it was. He sits it up for his big man. Green's there. Can't mark. Doherty. They can go out through the hands. Monahan doesn't get to it. Mills, clever hand pass out. Tideman. McLean. Wrapped up straight away. Couldn't get a disposal on it. Still the chances there for Sydney. Lots of players around at Carlton. Will eventually get the relieving stoppage. They would have wanted to get a shot on goal in that play, the Swans. Not to be.
Tideman unlucky there. He had his head taken off. Ball thrown up inside Swans attacking 50. McLean was looking for Mills. It got beyond him and Mills' tackle straight high. So the umpire will pay the free kick to Carlton. Wasn't sure if there was advantage there. So it'll come back inside D50 for the Blue Baggers. Footy in the hands of Ollie Poole. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, which was all class from almost that spot. Nearly turns it over. Duffy runs through, makes it look better than it was. Back to Doherty. Hurried kick outside 50 in the direction of Camporeale. Goes over the top of him. O'Farrell collects. Handballs over the top. Numbers with the Swans. Lloyd is there. Dishes off to Patton. Rides the tackle to Snell. Footy comes forward, but Carlton players waiting there. They miss a couple of targets as well. It's up for grabs on centre wing. Hanley goes in. Strong tackle from Hogg. And that will be holding the ball.
The Blues to get the free kick. Hogg. Doherty. Short kick is good. Hayes. Wants to go inside 50. Had Doherty as the hand pass option. Instead goes for the kick. McMahon was there. Moyer opted for the bump. Hayes. Phipps Parsons from the side angle. Bends it to the top of the square. Nelson eventually gets on the end of it. Ramshaw. Shut down brilliantly by Tideman. That'll be holding the ball. Great tackle laid by James Tideman. He'll win the free kick for Sydney and thwart that Carlton attacking move.
Oh, he's had a hell of a second quarter, Tideman. Kick the goal and then save one there. Just read the legs, watched the hips of Ramshaw and saved a certain major. McDonald, left half back for the Swans. Big rise. McLean takes the mark. Nice one-on-one grab in front of the coaches in the interchange bench as well. They couldn't have seen that any better. Drop this week, Hayden McLean. Swans take it slow. The lead from Buller is there, but the kick is out on the full. Carlton get the turnover. They'll bring it back in. They trail the Swans by 2.
5 goals to 4 at the moment. Here's Doherty starting to really get into the game in this second quarter. Sam Doherty, 38 touches he had last week in the VFL. That's a poor kick, and it's been turned over. Tideman, who's everywhere in this second quarter. Mills on the edge of 50. Will he line up and have a shot for goal, Callum Mills? I know the Swans fans will want him to. He's going back. He's right on the edge of his distance, but he'll have the shot.
Might test that hamstring, which was part of the issue that he didn't start the year. And he didn't end in the grand final team. Here it is. This could be the moment.
Callum Mills, the Swans fans will love to see this go through. He launches it. The distance is not a problem, and neither is the line. Welcome back, Callum Mills. He's been excellent in the first quarter and 9 minutes. He'll run to the interchange bench for a well-earned rest. He kicks a goal in his first VFL match ever, and it's great to see him back.
We've played 9 minutes of the second quarter, Justin. He's got 14 touches and a goal. And we wonder, when will that be enough? When will it... we've seen enough, Cal. Pencil a trip in next week because you look in fine form. Great finish from the club captain.
It's just no signs of rust at all from Callum Mills. He's come back in and looked at home, and now it's just about getting enough load into his legs and enough game time for him, what we think will be an AFL return next week.
It's getting darker here at the SCG. Curtain raiser before Marngrook tonight. Green taps it, then says, oh wait, no one's there, I'll grab it myself. Missed kick though. Carlton with the footy. Inside 50, Farinado, wobbly kick. Might work out. Slung as he kicked it. Lockie Hunter. So it's going to come straight back in from Carlton. The sit and the numbers falls over the back, and he is not missing from there. Liam McMahon, who is in fine goal-scoring touch, gets his first of this SCG clash. Repeat entries and turnovers, and Swans could not withstand that pressure. Liam McMahon's on the board, and that means the margin is back to 2. Swans lead, 38-36.
Goal number 19 this year from Liam McMahon, in this being game number 6. Currently third in the Frosty Miller medal race. Finished second in that race last year with 45. And there'll be some AFL clubs with their eye on him with the mid-season draft coming up.
Good bags this year for Liam McMahon. 4-4-3-3-4.
Not bad.
That is very handy. No one's been able to shut him down. Swans have until now, but he's on the board, so look out. Liam McMahon cuts that lead to 2 for the Swannies.
Brennan O'Keefe to do the ruck work this time. Adams, he's been good thus far. Green slaps it forwards. Bowman was there. Camporeale for Carlton. Logan, the debutant, getting a touch in. Bowman is there again. Hayes, he's clean. Scrubs a kick forwards. Paul couldn't get on the end of that. Enderman now for the Swans will go a long way backwards, and it's risky, and it's picked off by McMahon.
Well, that is a gift for Liam McMahon, who has just got his first goal of the game. And he read him like a book, telegraphed it. Patrick Snell is sitting there on the mark right now. He might just see his direct opponent kick 2 goals in a minute, one of which entirely not his fault.
Read it well, Liam McMahon, for his second goal in about 30 seconds. This one, a much tougher kick. But he is up to it. Liam McMahon, aren't we seeing some high-quality goal kicking from Carlton so far in this match? They retake the lead, 6-6-42. The Swans 6-2-38. McMahon has 2. Harry Lemmy with 3. Ollie Poole, the only other Carlton goal kicker.
Yeah, Liam McMahon, you just thank your lucky stars when something like that arrives in your lap. As you said, kicked 45 goals in 2024. And he is up to goal number 20 already.
The evidence is when he gets 1, he gets 3.
Or 4.
Yeah.
3 is the bare minimum. Maybe.
Might not be done for Liam McMahon today.
Well, history would tell you he's not done. They've gifted them one, the Swans. See if they can bounce back. That's a bruising tackle from Big Dane Harvey on Enderman. Giving away about a foot, Enderman, and he copped it there. He bounces right back up, though. Ball's thrown up, still in the centre square. Enderman gets it again. Short little handball to Edwards. At his toes, tapped it forward. Came to Lloyd. In tight. They need one relieving handball. It's going to be a kick instead for Carlton. Up towards the edge of the 50. Uh-oh, for 3 goals in 2 minutes. Liam McMahon, you can't keep McMahon down. You just knew when he edged out his opponent and it sat for him that Liam McMahon was ready to pounce. He's turned a deficit of 8 points into a lead of 10 off his own boot. 7-6-48 to 6-2-38.
Well, he said when he gets 1, he gets 3. We didn't think the 3 would come 3 minutes later. Liam McMahon goes to the top of the Frosty Miller medal race. He wasn't in third for long. Now it was 21 goals for the year, goes ahead of the giant Max Gruzhevsky, who was leading the way with 20. Liam McMahon will be up to his neck in that Frosty Miller medal race. The only thing that will stop him from being right in contention is if he gets taken in the mid-season draft.
I wonder if Carlton need him, so it's other clubs looking around most likely.
Absolutely, and if he goes to an interstate club like an Adelaide or a West Coast club, that'll be the end of his VFL time. Swans take the advantage here. Enderman, hand pass over the top. Inside 50 now for Klasky. Couldn't hold the mark. Still the chances there for Sydney. Socket out wide. Tideman, he's been good this quarter. Logan, some good body contact. Buller hits that one with Harvey. Klasky sees something in the middle of the ground but can't execute. Hogg takes the intercept mark to relieve things for Carlton.
Well, this is a really exciting VFL clash to open up round 8. Goals galore so far. 13 in just over a quarter and a half. Swans will want to wrestle one back. Hayes has been so busy to late in. Couldn't keep that one in the field of play, though. I'll have a ball in on the western wing of the SCG in front of the members and ladies pavilion. Wow, Liam McMahon, 3 goals in less than 3 minutes. Harvey pushed Green out of it. Ball hit the deck. Guess who's there? Callum Mills looks inboard. Matty Lloyd on the edge of the square marks. Lowers the eyes. Lead comes from Buller in front. Well done, O'Farrell. Handball mightn't have been great, but he spoiled what would be a mark. Hayes handballs forward, and running it out of bounds is Bowman.
Callum Mills came straight off the interchange bench into that stoppage, and as a result, was standing all on his own. Easy hand pass for the Swans to find. He won't be on his own at this stoppage, though. Ferronato keeping close eye on him. Cincotta. Wilson. Hayes did well under pressure. Ferronato, short kick. Finds Poole. He's got some space in front of him and some players running past. Hogg tried to shovel a hand pass backwards. Couldn't find his teammate in Charlson. The ball is stopped, and they'll be holding the ball. The Swans do well, and they'll go quickly. Lloyd. Here's Mills again. Doesn't quite know where to go this time. Hand passes back to Lloyd. It was probably the best of some poor options. And then the Carlton are there, have got the numbers. Moyer through some traffic. One more hand pass is there for the debutant Logan. Instead, the shot on goal comes. And it's trickled out of play. A pressured shot on goal when perhaps the hand pass option was there. But it's not the worst result for Carlton. They'll get a boundary throw in right next to the behind post.
And relief for some of the Swans' big guns there. Adams and Mills went a bit too quick and broke down in the middle of the SCG, the most dangerous part. Buller v. Harvey. Harvey out of the ruck. Camporeale outside of the right boot. That might be it. Yes, it is. Ben Camporeale, the father-son, has a goal in the VFL today. His first VFL goal for the Carlton Blues, extending their lead. What a moment for the youngster.
Great to see from Ben Camporeale, probably coming off his best game so far for Carlton. 34 disposals last week against Sandringham. His brother was a late out today, Lucas Camporeale, being held over in case something goes wrong in the warm-up for the AFL Carlton. But Ben is on the board, and Carlton have had an excellent second quarter.
They have. They had an 8-point deficit not too long ago. They now lead by 16. And a big moment for the pick 43. Ben Campriali's first goal in navy blue. That'll be a special moment. As he said, his best game last week. 34 touches. All Australian in his under 18 year.
McLean contesting that ruck duel for the Swans. Edwards socketed out of midair. Harvey is there for Carlton. Hanley. Mills. Oh, beautiful turn to find the space, Callum Mills. Inside 50 he goes. Buller in a one-on-one. Brought it to grounds. Doherty's there for Carlton. Wrapped up. Ball spills loose. Edwards was clean. On his left, Ben Edwards touched off the boot, so won't be a mark to Phillips. Selected to keep it in the field of play, not concede the behind, and it was nicely done. Doherty has it in the pocket.
Doherty touch number 13. Doesn't like anything ahead of him, so back to Phillips. Top of the goal square. The Torres Strait Islander flag on show as a part of Marngrook and Sir Doug Nicholls round in the AFL here at the SCG. Both teams wearing their Indigenous jumper. O'Farrell has Doherty running past him. Wasn't the option. It was a 2-on-2. They somehow work it out. The cleverness of age potentially getting him out of trouble there. And the umpire's blown a whistle. It's going to come all the way back. Carlton will have, I believe, the free kick.
It was a free kick off the ball from just behind play. So the free kick will go to where the ball was at the time, which was probably 20 metres ahead of where the free kick occurred. So long up the line for O'Keefe. Got some space on McLean, but couldn't bring the mark in. Ferranado. Hunter lays the tackle. There's Mills involved again. Can't get the disposal away this time. We'll have a ball up. Rare for Callum Mills in this first half to not be able to get the disposal away. We're expecting him to be on managed minutes, so we'll see how much of the second half he plays. He's played plenty of the first half and has looked good. Poole, tackled by Hunter. McDonald is there for the Swans. Mills lays a good tackle this time, and we'll have another stoppage at the top of the 50. The darkness starts to descend on the SCG. Are the lights on yet? We might need them.
They're not in this room, so we'll get to that at halftime. Free kick the way of Carlton. And it's the big man who's going to have a shot at goal, Hudson O'Keefe. Have to kick it 55 metres, but he's put the mouthguard away, so already backing himself, turns his back to goal. And he'll have to kick it over Hayden McLean as well.
We've seen some good Carlton set shots so far.
6 players down at the goal square. Running around O'Keefe. Ignores. Pulls the kick to the hot spot. McDonald spoiled. Numbers with the home team. Longmire, and up and under. It's risky. It's a good spoil. Tideman's been productive in this second term, but it's still danger signs for Carlton. Edwards didn't bite off more than he could. Found Patton. That is a risky kick. Is that a mark? Ho ho! An inch off the ground. That would have been dangerous. They shift it left through Hunter. Now on his left foot. Doesn't reach McLean, so he has to come forward and get it. Points to where he wants the lead. And marking. Heck of a quarter for Tideman. He'll have his chance to kick his second.
That all stems from the excellent mark from Geddes. Just an inch off the deck. Little slips catch, and he was standing about where second slip would be here at the SCG if the bowler's coming in from the Paddington ends. This one's able to get the ball out the other side. Nice mark from McLean, and now Tideman will be rewarded with the shot on goal.
To stop a run of 4 Carlton goals in a row. James Tideman for his second in the quarter. An important one for the home team. 8-6-54 Carlton, 7-2-44 Swans. They cut it back to a 10-point game. 22 minutes elapsed in this second term. He kicked 1 goal for the season, James Tideman. He's got 2 today.
It is a cracking contest so far. This is one of the best VFL games that's been played in Sydney so far this season. Leading disposal winners, Callum Mills leads all comers and will be at the centre bounce once again. 18 disposals and a goal. Great return to action for him. Got the 3 tackles as well. Been in and under everything. Sam Doherty leads the way for Carlton with 15 touches. Ben Patton's got 15 as well. Will Hayes with 14. Looking at the inside 50 count between the two teams. 26 have Carlton, 5 more than the Swans with 21. They have a 10-point lead as well.
Cincotta a bit quiet, so 4 disposals in his comeback game. As he said, had a bit of surgery on his hip over the off-season, so he'll want to get busy in the second half.
Perfect ruck work from Green, straight down to Kirk, who gave to Enderman and took the Swans inside 50. McLean had a couple to beat, and Hassan O'Farrell had a great half. That's his 3rd or 4th intercept mark. He's been excellent, Harry O'Farrell, a pick 40 in last year's draft. Loved what I've seen from him in the opening stages here at the SCG. Doherty, another touch for him. Launches up the line. O'Keefe got to the front, but it went to the back. Laws, Hanley, Bowman. Go all the way backwards to Hunter, who's in some space, and he'll go backwards again, and he'll go backwards again. They've gone backwards about 60 metres there, the Swans. They eventually find Patrick Snell, who kicks it back to where it came from in Adams. And now he's hoping it's a little more open for him. Finds Kirk. That could be 50 for Lemmy, or he's lucky. It's just inside that protected area. The umpire allowed him to get away with it. Here's McDonald for the Swans. Mid-season transfer McDonald coming across from Collingwood and did well against Essendon last week. Geddes doesn't quite know where to go next. Spears one to McLean. It was a great kick, just landed short of him. Doherty on the end of the hand pass and found Hayes. That was beautifully done from Doherty. Wilson, chance now for Carlton on the counter. Lemmy in a one-on-one with Snell. Snell did it well. Good body work from Patrick Snell. McDonald, short kick, not going to work out. Wilson was there. Enderman's there to clean things up for the Swans, and McDonald gets on the end. Hand pass over the top. Bounce just eludes Tideman. Hayes tumbles it forward. Lemmy's in a one-on-one again. Can't win it this time. Nicely done by Longmire. A couple of excellent pieces of play from the Swans defenders to deny Lemmy a mark.
Geddes saw something that not many would have seen. Went to switch a play to Hunter at left half back. His kick works out in the end for Adams, but he had to step back into traffic. Still had enough time. Short kick to Patton. That is risky. And Patton has copped one as well. Just as he was marking Vickery, the ex-Swan for this VFL team, came through and clipped him along the ears. So that might get a look. Patton's up and fine though. And his kick to Bowman is smart. Ned Bowman, still 2 good kicks from goal. They trail by 10, the Swans. We've played 25 in the second. Deep entry. Where's McLean? He's at the fall of the ball. Doherty spilt it. Hanley came through. He was tackled. Mills was in the back. And they've played the free kick against Hanley. It'll go the way of Carlton.
Didn't get a disposal on that one. Tom Hanley just placed the ball on the ground and then tried to slap it across and try to convince the umpire it was a hand pass. Absolutely was not. Wilson.
So it was a good moment as well for Taj Logan. Just quickly, Justin, he made that tackle, the debutant.
Great to see the debutant getting involved. Here's Vickery, the former Swan, no stranger to the SCG. It's been a couple of years on the Swans list. Wasn't able to make an AFL debut. Long kick. Snell to his old teammate. They used to patrol the Swans backline together, Vickery and Snell, the 2 left footers. Snell goes backwards to Patton. Wide for McDonald. Mills is in the corridor if he wants to pull the trigger. McDonald doesn't quite. See something up the line in Byron Laws. Long kick, just lost his footing, Tideman, and that prevented him from taking the mark. Nice intercept from Vickery.
Vickery wants his left foot, so this channel is the way to go. And he spots up Charlson. They had a bit of a run on, instead they go backwards. It might work out. Wilson, Vickery, hands come to Farinado. Vickery the inside 50 and on the lead. Lemmy takes that. Annoyed himself was Tom Longmire. Gave Lemmy way too much space. And Vickery involved in 3 possessions there as Carlton worked that chain from half back to half forward.
It's a beautiful kick from Vickery. Under pressure, whilst just about being tackled as he kicked it. And laced out Harry Lemmy, who'll line up for number 4.
Carlton lead by 10 right now. Late stages of the second term. McMahon kicked 3 in a row. Lemmy has 3. He says, Lemmy back in on the party. 4 goals for Harry Lemmy. They are going stroke for stroke, him and Liam McMahon. That is 9-6-60 now to 7-2-44. 16 points the margin for the Blues.
Great to see Taj Logan involved, the VFL debutant today. He's done some nice things. Got real opposite ends of the spectrum today. We've got debutants and youngsters. And then there's, for lack of a better term, a couple of old blokes. We've got Taylor Adams and Sam Doherty out there, the veterans. Will Hayes is a veteran as well, and a club captain in Callum Mills. We've got all sorts out there, and it's been a cracking contest so far. 16 points of difference.
The old blokes are doing all right. Cal Mills, 18 and a goal. Sam Doherty, 17. Will Hayes has 16, and Taylor Adams has 16. Hunter, 16 as well. So age working out well on both sides here in the second term.
O'Keefe wins that hit out, but Adams is first on the end of it. Ran into a little bit of traffic, but did it well. Edwards. Laws. He sits it up. McLean's not favoured. Big fly, not paid. Didn't get quite enough of it, Liam McMahon, who's sitting in defence at the moment, so won't get a chance to kick a goal, and that'll be holding the ball, so Carlton win the free kick. Perhaps just McMahon moved back at the end of this second quarter. This is a bit of a loose. Obviously, you can't have a loose at the start of the game with a 6-6-6. He's moved into defence for the moment.
And Hanley saw after copping the full McMahon knee there in that near hanger. There is the siren. It's another quarter full of goals. Carlton will go in ahead. They had a run there of 4 in a row, 3 of them.
In the centre square, Chincotta next to Indy Kirk. Good bounce from the umpire. Green, double-fisted hit out. O'Keefe collects. Wide for Charlton. Can't get a hold of it. Tideman was excellent in that second quarter and won a free kick. Got Hunter running past. Doesn't use him. I'll go slowly to the Swans. Mills has drifted inside 50. Kicked a goal in that first half from 50. Excellent kick of the footy. Hitchens into the pocket. Not a good kick. Picked off by Vickery, the former Swan. And he will rebound for Carlton.
Geddes was waiting there for a long time. Arms out. They were zoning off him. That was the kick, but didn't have enough on it. Harvey with the leap. No mark, but a clever tap down to Ramshaw. He goes short to Moyer. Turns, kicks inboard. Wobbly one. Might work out. Hands come. McMahon, little chip when he's in the sort of form that he should have just loaded up and gone home. Says sorry to his teammate, but missed opportunity there for McMahon, who kicked 3 in a row in the second quarter for Carlton.
Definitely entitled to a shot on goal there, Liam McMahon. Had enough space with the man closing to get a full kick on it. The boundary throw in. Inside forward 50 for Carlton. Green and O'Keefe in the ruck once again. It falls short of everybody. Bounces for Taylor Adams. Dangerous kick. Hayes was closing fast. Patton. Lloyd. And now Mills. Clears defensive 50. Touched was the call. O'Farrell picks up for Carlton. Hayes didn't go to the first option and then was tackled trying to give the hand pass away to the second. Nicely done by Bowman, who wins the free kick for Sydney.
Bowman, good second effort there. And that's a missed kick. So you do one good thing and then you turn it over. That is not pleasant for Swans fans or for Jared McVeigh. Carlton, flying shot on goal from outside 50 is just to the left. First score of the third term is behind. They extend that lead to 17 points, the Blues.
First quarter was, well, the first half rather, was such a high-quality contest. It's been a little slow to start this third quarter. A few mistakes from both sides. Here's Hunter. That's a nice kick for Hitchens. He's got Mills short. Goes for a little longer, and again it's a dangerous kick to the corridor. Wasn't anywhere near Hanley. Hayes with the intercept. Gave it to Hogg, and he found McMahon just inside 50. He's probably got this leg in him, Liam McMahon, with 3 goals to his name already. Why not have a shot?
Beautiful set of wheels as well. The light blue looks good with that Indigenous jumper as well. Liam McMahon going for goal number 4.
He's the leading goal kicker in the VFL this season, Liam McMahon. From 55, launches it, has the journey comfortably, but doesn't have the line across the face for a behind. Carlton 9-8-62, 3 goals is their lead. The Swans 7-2-44.
Hunter, footy in hand, assesses his options. Goes out to his left. That's where he loves it. The two-handed bounce. That looks a bit strange. Buller leading to the footy and marks. Strong hands. Looks around, wants the middle. One-on-ones down the ground. He puts his hands out as if to say, where are you? There's nothing he likes. So why not go back to the man who kicked it to you? Hunter. Uses that left foot. Swans have possession. Little chip mark. Lloyd. Just inside the boundary line on the wing. Long kick towards Mills, who's there. Holds front space. Chincotta did well to get a fist in. It will be thrown back in. Couple of points to Carlton to start this third term. Callum Mills up to 19 touches, still leading everyone on the field in this comeback for the Sydney skipper.
Nearly 200 AFL games between that matchup, Mills and Chincotta. The players returning from injury. 162 for Mills, 35 for Chincotta. Lloyd tackled as soon as he got it, and we'll have another stoppage. Mills' plantar fasciitis has kept him out for this season after a hamstring injury. Kept him out of the grand final last year. Hayes, Monahan shut down by Bowman. Did he have Pryor? Yes, he did. Free kick to the Swans just on the edge of 50. Ned Bowman rewarded for an excellent tackle.
Yeah, that was a good old-fashioned ball and all tackle. Driving back, look at those post-contact meters.
Doesn't have the journey in him, so goes to the pocket for McLean. Phillips with a good spoil. O'Farrell, who had an excellent first half, comes down with it. He's happy to accept the stoppage. Ball up in the forward pocket for the Sydney Swans.
Let's look who gets dangerous. McLean is there. Buller will do the ruck work, though. For the Swans, straight down. Lloyd outside of the right foot. Across the face. Cannons into the left behind post, so that'll be out in the full. Carlton will bring it back in the left back pocket.
A long kick out of defensive 50 is to nobody in particular. Ben Patton just sits under it. Moyer couldn't get there in time. Ball to play on now, Ben Patton. He sits it up long. Buller and McLean are both there. O'Farrell went to ground and won the free kick. Been excellent, Harry O'Farrell. Pick 40 in last year's draft. Intercept marking and defence has been excellent. Doherty finds Nelson. Can give it back to Doherty. There's another cute little kick. He's so efficient with the footy, Doherty. He can get a third here as well. Wilson not this time. Hitchens was closing him down, so a good option to not go back to Doherty this time. Wilson darting low kick's going to work out. Camporeale just got rid of Adams. Then to the top of the 50. Harvey sits under it. Good fist from Longmire. Monahan wrapped up. Nice tackle laid, and the umpire will ball it up at the top of the 50. Almost Dane Harvey taking a good mark to line up for goal. Instead, they'll have a stoppage at the top of the 50.
Adams did not like that fend off from Camporeale. He applied a pretty late strong arm to the chest. Edwards kick out of midair for the Swans. Dangerous spot to do that. Running in was Mills. Head over the footy. Chincotta rises with it. Handball's back. Doherty kicks it to the hot spot. Wonderful read and tackle. 25 metres out from the Carlton goal. They lead by 3 straight kicks here at the SCG. They've extended their halftime lead by a couple. Green tapping it. Defensive side, but it works out. Rundown tackle on Nelson. Not rewarded. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in deep in the Carlton attacking 50.
Such a good tackle from Max Geddes. He just didn't know where the ball was, so then turned away from it when Lockie Hunter tried to hand pass it to him. So the ball out of play in front of the Carlton cheer squad.
All 12 of them.
Sure, it'll build throughout the evening. Nelson snaps towards goal on the left. Snell is there. Chincotta! Right place, right time for Alex Chincotta. His first game of the year after off-season hip surgery. The Blues get around him. Great to see him back in action and great to see him on the board. Carlton extend their lead to 24 points.
Slots home the winner in the open goal. Chincotta, who lived in a gym during COVID to rehab his knee. So he'd done his knee, lockdown was coming. Someone said, I've got this gym, I'm not going to be using it. Do you want to put a mattress in the next room and you can just do all your rehab while everyone's stuck at home? Amazing story. Wasn't picked up in so many drafts. He's 28 years of age, as he said, 30-odd AFL games.
Just see, sorry to interrupt, Declan, I can just see Callum Mills walking down the Paul Kelly race into the Sydney room. So that might be Callum Mills done for the day. Played a little over a half. Got a lot of the footy, looked excellent. Wait to see if he re-emerges. I think that might be him done. No injuries, I wouldn't have thought, but looked the goods.
Campriali with the clearance. Is going backwards though. Doherty will be first there. Bowman applies another good tackle. Carlton running away with the footy. Vickery on his left foot. Up the line. O'Keefe spills the mark. Second effort. Footy spills free. Enderman has to work for it for the Swans. Little kick to Geddes, who marks in between two Carlton defenders. And they have the ball in the middle of the SCG. Max Geddes, who looks behind him. No one there that he wants. Hunter is out to his left. Great weight on the kick. He could just run forward and deliver to Buller, but straight over the top of his head. Another intercept mark in the back 50 for Carlton. Moya with the footy now on half-back flank.
McMahon is the tall option up the line. With nothing presenting in the corridor, Moya takes that option. McMahon will fly. McDonald was sitting under it for the Swans. Kirk. A lot of players around that one. And did one of them dive on it? Holding the ball, the call from the umpire. So it'll be Ferronato to take the free kick for the Blues. Goes inboard for Wilson. Takes the metres in front of him and drives it long. McMahon in a one-on-one. It's a spot he loves. Snell did well enough to prevent McMahon from taking the mark. And did McMahon dive on that one? He did. So that's good defensive work from the Swans and Patrick Snell. The Swans will come away with it.
Big victory for Snell there in the one-on-one. McMahon had him on toast and managed to affect the spoil without giving away the free kick. So Kluski gets a free of his own. Push came from Wilson as the mark was attempted by Geddes. No free kick. Ball out of bounds on the eastern wing.
I think the Swans are going to be 2 down on the bench for the rest of this second half, with Mills looking like he's done for the day and Tom Hanley being taken out of the game as holdover in case something happens in the warm-up for the AFL.
Lucas Campriali pulled late from the Carlton side, so he's being held over in case there's any issues for Carlton. Footy at the front of the contest. Doherty, good tackle. Ball arrived in Kirk's lap, but his disposal wasn't great. Enderman, boot on ball. Get it forward at any cost. Duffy beating Buller in a one-on-one. Wilson turns his head away, sprays that off his foot, out of bounds. Swans will bring it back in through Indy Kirk.
Is there enough crowd here yet to find the footy for Indy Kirk? Someone's got up from their seat and they've got it for him. And Kirk will bring the ball back into play for the Swans.
So that'll be 19 touches, Justin, and a goal for Callum Mills as his day ends.
Buller at the front of that pack, couldn't come down with it. Duffy for Carlton, did it well, the Irishman. Hunter sitting under this one, he'll take the intercept and bring it straight back in for the Swans.
Hunter now up to 22 touches. I don't think he's doing much manning up in his VFL comeback after retiring from the AFL last year.
Taking plenty of kick-ins, Lockie Hunter getting those kick numbers up. Goes in the direction of Green and McLean. Green, now McLean. Kluski. Ferronato attacked it hard for Carlton. McLean laid a good tackle. Adams extracted it from the pack beautifully. Kick looking for Lloyd and plucked it. Just brought it in with the one hand. That was superbly done from Matty Lloyd.
And it was really well extracted from Taylor Adams. A couple of fumbles in there from other players, and he just yanked it out, accelerated out of the contest, and pinpoint pass from Taylor Adams. He's had a good game. So his second VFL game in a row, 19 touches at the moment. Last week, a little bit less, 14 disposals, but he's looking sharper and sharper as the game wears on.
Matty Lloyd has not gone goalless in a VFL game this year from directly in front. It's a perfect kick. Much needed one for the Swans. Brings that margin back to 18 points. Got on the end of some great work from Taylor Adams on managed minutes last week in the VFL. Looks like he's going to play more this week and has looked exceptional. Adams and Mills doing exactly what Dean Cox would have liked to have seen thus far today.
Yeah, Adams just hasn't had a good run at it here at the Swans. Injuries as he suffered at Collingwood, even back to his Giants days. So 226 AFL games to his name right now. If he'd had a pretty solid run of form, it'd almost be up to 250. Even just at the Swans, missing a handful of games last year. He's missed most of this season. But he has looked really solid today. As I said, 19 disposals. Back in the middle, O'Keefe and Green. Indy Kirk was grabbed as he went to get it. Campriali did it well, disguised it. Ramshaw sold some candy. Delivers inside 50. Lemmy stands tall, sticks the mitts up and grabs it in front of Longmire. Frustration for Longmire. Lemmy lines up for 5.
It's a tough ask for Tom Longmire. Harry Lemmy got the height advantage over him big time, and he's in some strong form, Harry Lemmy. Excellent first half. Lining up for a bag.
On the 45-degree angle. Just a 20-metre drop punt. It's a handful for Harry. Lemmy has 5 goals. Back to a 24-point margin for the Blues. 11-8-74 to 8-2-50.
Had a great Harry at each end today, have Carlton. Harry Lemmy in the forward line's been terrific, and Harry O'Farrell in defence has been excellent, taking intercept marks, doing some great defensive work, along with Will Hayes and Doherty doing the work through the midfield. It's been a complete performance thus far from Carlton. 24 points they lead halfway through the third quarter.
It's hard to see the Swans being able to run with Carlton here. As he said, Mills is sitting out and Hanley as well now on the bench. Effectively 2 down. Got that 4-goal lead, Carlton. It's going to be tough for the home side here. They sit second last, the Swans, in the VFL ladder.
Green won the hit out. But Doherty is there for Carlton. Harvey out wide. Here's Logan, the debutant. Found a teammate in Ramshaw. He had to hand pass directly towards the boundary line. That'll be deliberate. He's under pressure there. He really couldn't do a lot about that, Ramshaw, but that doesn't mean it's not a free kick. Nice pressure from the Swans, earning themselves the free kick. Kluski looking up the line for Tideman. Here's Logan again. Tideman lays the tackle. Logan will get another chance. Deft little kick, gone about 4 metres, but it was the right play. Hayes up the line, 2-on-1. The 2 win out, but they've given away the free kick. No. Yes, they have given away the free kick. It was Hunter and Leadler against Poole. And Poole was pushed out of the contest. And McMahon's in the pockets. Goes in that direction. McMahon tried a little spin and then lost his footing and ends up with a footing anyway. Edwards, strong tackle. And that will be a stoppage.
Good trap from McMahon. Both him and his opponent, Snell, I think, scrambling with that strange kick.
Just got some rain coming down at the moment.
Carlton attacking end here. They lead by 4 goals. Out of the contest. They get the clearance to the hot spot. Dangerous stuff. Arriving late. A tackle came. Leadler with a kick in the rain. So it's going to get scrappy now. And there is a kick for territory. 1-on-2, Hayden McLean up against it, and the numbers win out. Duffy for Carlton, short chip kick up the line. Taj Logan, the debutant today from North Melbourne, Diamond Creek. Done a couple of good things, laid an important defensive tackle. Big kick up and hope. 3 grabs, got a touch on the way through, so Farinado has to play on. His handball puts a teammate under pressure. Cincotta picks it up. Tries to get through one. He almost slips through. Comes back to him. Gets through another. He is slippery, Cincotta, tonight. His kick inside 50 was cut off. That is as deliberate as it comes. So the pressure won't stop for the Swans. Hayes to bring it back in.
He can take some space in front of him. Instead, just sits it high, Hayes. It's a great misunderstood rule of the players. When it goes out of bounds on the full or it's deliberate, once you step back in the field of play, it's play on. None of them seem to get it.
Hunter, he does play on. Pouring rain here at the SCG. Great mark coming across the contest. That's Bowman, who's done well this quarter. He's had a few good involvements. That one will not be his best. Straight down to Harry O'Farrell, his 6th mark of the day. He averages 6 a game, couple of intercepts. His kick puts a bit of pressure under a teammate. Phillips is there to help out. Relieving mark is taken. Hogg under pressure. Carlton repel.
So steady rain now falling at the SCG, and it's a horrible turnover. Hogg kicked it straight to Tideman. He almost turned it over as well, looking for Buller. Still the chance there for the Swans. Enderman, nice hand pass for Buller. He's got Geddes. Plenty of Swans inside 50, but he can't hit Kluski. O'Farrell is there and as clean as he has been all day. Logan did well. Buller went the body. Geddes picked it up beautifully in the wet conditions, but his kick lets him down. Again, we'll have a turnover. Scrappy few minutes with the rain coming down here at the SCG.
Phillips has looked really good in defence, so that's his 8th mark. Definitely a few intercepts in that collection. Short kick there. That was 15 on the dot, and they pay it. So they will escape D50 Carlton. Duffy marks the Irishman, his 2nd game. Back from that ACL, as you heard. Inboard to Wilson. Kicks it out in front of 2 Carlton players who both look at each other. Bounce of the ball here at the SCG. It does funny things. Favours the home team. Good smother, though, by O'Farrell. Out of bounds, inside, attacking 50 for the Swans. Steady rain at the moment, 20 minutes into the 3rd term. Blues lead by 24.
11 AFL listed players out there for each side, probably down to 9 now with Mills and Hanley out of the game for the Swans. Carlton with that advantage for the moment. Harvey lays a strong tackle, in fact lands in the back of the Swan. It's going to be a shot on goal for the Swans. That's something a little out of nowhere. It'll be Matty Lloyd who lines up.
Yeah, I don't think many around the contest exactly knew what was happening there, but Matty Lloyd, who's had 10 goals coming into this game, he's got a goal already, so 11-3, leading goal kicker for the Swans. Singles the last 3 weeks. Can he double up here?
Wet conditions at the SCG, slippery ball. Swans need something just to stay in touch. He's hung it out to the right-hand side, Matty Lloyd. The margin now back to an even 4 goals.
Doherty, who's been busy. 23 touches now for the veteran. We're going to find a way back into the ones. And Patton read that well. A 2-grabber in the wet. That's not easy. Points to where he's going to kick it. Tells his forwards to line up deep. McLean rises. Good spoil at the front. Brave stuff from Ethan Phillips, who stood in front of McLean. He's still sitting down there. It's meant a Carlton turnover. They run through the middle of the ground. Hogg spills the slippery footy. Adams picks it up and Swans will bounce back.
O'Keefe and Phillips still taking a long time to get to their feet. Inside 50 now. Bowman with the snap on goal isn't going to have the line. But Phillips and O'Keefe now both to their feet. O'Keefe still struggling. Looks like they're going to be okay. It was a heavy collision. Looks like both are going to stay on the ground. It's ended up bouncing out of play, so the Swans will get a boundary throw-in in these. It's getting a little scrappy, this contest, in the wet conditions.
Phillips just gave the thumbs up as well to the physio. That is not what you want. Ball comes down to Edwards, who spins on his right. Falls short. That goalkeeper Phillips is there, getting his breath back, also saving a goal.
I think it was touched off the boot anyway, so Phillips knew he couldn't mark it. Just happy to slap that one through.
23 points, Carlton lead.
If the player knows that it's been touched,
okay,
does it become a deliberate rush behind because it's no longer a marking contest?
What you're getting at.
Adams, tackled by Chincotta. Hand pass over the top. It's going to work out nicely for the Blues. Hogg shoveled a hand pass out wide. It was good enough. Nelson, inside 50. Lemmy's got some space on his opponent, but he'll be happy giving Lemmy the ball 60 metres out from goal. Drives it long out the back. It was nicely done in defence from Longmire, preventing that ball from getting to Poole. And we have a boundary throw in. Went coast to coast quickly. Carlton did it well and will earn themselves a stoppage inside forward 50.
Players are loving a little slide and dive at the moment. Perfect conditions on this slippery SCG turf as the rain comes down. Not predicted tonight, but you don't trust him. Buller, the tap. Chincotta. Farinato's there. Second bite at the cherry, gets it. That kick is high and it is wide. So Poole can't collect. Swans get the free That's with Longmire. Well, it will be in a moment once one of the dedicated VFL fans out in the rain hand the footy back to him.
Love that. Plenty in the Carlton cheer squad who are braving the rain at the moment. Of course, there's plenty of undercover areas at the SCG as well that people are enjoying their VFL from. McLean's got to the front of that contest but couldn't bring the mark in. Duffy. Charlton snaps forwards. Lloyd went back with a flight. Enderman. Poole. Work out nicely here for Carlton. And Phipps Parsons gets on the end of it. There's a kick forward without much intention to it. It was just a kick to the dangerous space, and Phipps Parsons was on board with what his teammate was doing and got on the end of it.
Debut last week for this fella against the Zebs. No goals yet at VFL level, so this one would mean a bit as the rain continues to come down.
Sterling Phipps Parsons, one of the great names in the VFL. To give Carlton their biggest lead of the match. Perfect kick from Sterling Phipps Parsons. Here's first for the Blues, and every player on the ground gets to him. 29 points the difference now. 12-9-81 Carlton lead. The Swans 8-4-52.
Yeah, it's becoming quite difficult for the Swans back six at the moment. A couple of repeat entries, and they couldn't find a way out. As you called it well, Poole kicked it to space. Phipps Parson on the board in navy blue.
Plenty of the Carlton senior players and coaching staff just sitting in the members' pavilion of the SCG having a look. And a few of the Swans searching for cover at the back of the Brawongle stands.
Let's hope this rain gets out of the way before Marn Grook, Justin, for the game and also for our quality of call down there on the boundary.
Yes, to us, they've got to walk across this ground to get there as well.
Up for grabs in the middle, out of midair. Edwards nearly kicked it in the face of Adams, so it's spilt to Carlton, who have numbers. Campriali tries the handball to Hayes. Slippery ball, can it be picked up? Doesn't want to, taps it forward instead to Moyer, to Poole. If anyone's going to do well in the wet, it's probably Poole. He's handballed forward. Off a turnover, that's a brilliant tackle. So dispossessed, not that word right this time. And it's in the hands of McMahon. Plenty from home though, so kick it to the pocket. 1-on-1. Up for grabs. Is it a second take, Mark, in the wet? It is for Lemmy. When it is your day, it's your day. And in pouring rain, he takes a two grabber and he'll look for six.
Kicked his first from just about this exact spot. Beautiful right foot snap. Looks like he's going to take the same option.
Round the corner on his right foot, Harry Lemmy. Oh, Harry had a handful. Now Harry has a half dozen. 6 goals to Harry Lemmy, the 21-year-old, 40-odd games of VFL, and this would have to be his best in blue. Game high lead for Carlton, 13-9, 87 to 8-4-52.
Making a case for an AFL debut, Harry Lemmy. It's a pretty tough key forward line to get into with Curnow and Mackay in the Carlton seniors. And he's really growing into his role, Harry Lemmy. Couple of goalless weeks in the last 2 weeks. Kicked 7 in his first 4. Up to 13 now in the season.
6 and 1 or 2 in the rain as well. I mean, that's got to mean a bit. Took the mark. He was standing next to his opponent, Byron Laws. He wasn't on the lead or have space. He had to work for it and juggle it and finish it, and he did.
Umpire's throwing the ball up, which is a wise move. Adams, straight out of the centre square. It's going to ricochet straight into the path of Ben Edwards. On the left foot, Ben Edwards! What was that? 8 seconds from the centre circle to the goal for the Swans. Exceptional bit of play. A little fortunate with the bounce into the path of Edwards, but he was clean in the wet. Nicely done, an instant response for the Swans.
You wouldn't know it was raining at the moment, so Lemmy takes a 2 grabber and kicks it from the left forward pocket round his body. And then Edwards, the pick-up and launch from just inside 50. Yeah, a bit of luck involved, but the finish was sublime. So we've seen 6 goals in this quarter. We saw 8 in the previous, and we had 8 in the first quarter. Ball thrown up. O'Keefe, the tap. Campriali overruns. O'Keefe gets a second go. He's tackled well. Ball's grabbed and then handballed forward. Just gain a few metres. Tapped forward for a few more for the Swans. Running past the tap from Kluski was Geddes. Lloyd's there on the edge of 50. Handball back to Edwards, the goal kicker. High up and under. That will take a mark. McLean doesn't grab it. Carlton have numbers in defence. Hayes is there. Monaghan as well. He's brilliantly tackled. And the umpire has paid the free kick. So well done, Matty Lloyd. Tough assignment here to kick for goal, but earned that free kick.
Kicks well, Matty Lloyd. 1 goal, 1 behind thus far. Is the Swans' leading goal kicker in the VFL this season.
Swings out to the right. That doesn't look too bad at all. Right to the line, tap through. 13-9-87, 9-5-59. Blues in the lead.
Ticking down towards three-quarter time at the moment. Sam Doherty still the leading disposal winner with 25. Lockie Hunter up to 23 for the Swans. Wilson's kick goes long. Big pack of players around this footy. Hitchens happy to see the ball over the boundary line. Just in front of that Paul Kelly race where we saw Callum Mills disappear at about the 8.5-minute mark of this third quarter. Done for the day, we assume, Callum Mills. And they'll be happy with what they've seen from him, Callum Mills. It's just about, was that enough load for him to go into the AFL next week, or does he need another in the VFL? He didn't look to be any signs of rust as the Swans go inside 50 again. Wilson comes away with it. And there is the three-quarter time siren. Dominant third quarter for Carlton. They take a big lead here at the SCG. 28 points the margin, Carlton. 13-9-87. The Swans 9-5-59. 1 quarter to play here at the SC.
Started midway through that third quarter and made it a bit more of a slippery affair, although Harry Lemmy didn't mind. First clearance goes the way of Taylor Adams, who's had a pretty solid second game back from injury. Hayes picked it up, though. Tap over the top. Well, that was a bruising tackle. Absolutely met. Ollie Poole. That is brutal. The slap of body on body. Grabs the footy. Kicks it towards Harvey. Over the top of the tools. Waiting at the back, Lloyd, who's done some work front and back today. Liedler, short kick. Finds Adams, who marks within defensive 50 and switches the angle of play to Hunter.
And Bowman is the next one in the queue for the Swans. Nice kick from Hunter. Hits him on the chest. Next one's not obvious, though. Hunter looks back to the corridor. Bowman, rather, looks back to the corridor. Up the line, McLean's the target. Gets to ground. Smith. Buller. Now Edwards on the left. Inside 50. Enderman and Kluski are there. Slapped away by Duffy. Missed the hand pass there. Gave Enderman another chance. Hayes got rid of the immediate danger. Falls in the lap of Patton. He sees Hunter. And inside 50 go the Swans. McLean amongst 3 Blues. Brought it to ground. Hayes again. Tumbles it out of defensive 50. Harvey's got a couple of Swans to beat. Fernando attacked it hard, but the Swans go back inside 50 again. McLean once again is the target. Once again got it to ground. Buller. His kick went nowhere. And Carlton will rebound again.
Harvey is the target for Carlton. Brings it to ground. Numbers with the red and white. Enderman. Liedler. Lowers the eyes. This is the target. Running through is Kluski. He's pulled. Didn't have the footy. Umpire lets it play. Comes to Geddes. 48 metres. He's pulled that off the boot. And it goes through for the first score of the final quarter to behind. 87 plays 60. Carlton ahead. 2 and a bit minutes into the final term.
Been good today, Max Geddes.
Hasn't he? Loved his defensive work, creeping forward there.
Spending a bit of time on the wing. Doherty bring Carlton back into play. A little bobble. He's still raining here, been raining for the majority of this second half. Duffy. The Irishman. A couple of Irishmen in this Carlton back 6 with Monaghan as well. It goes wide. Moyer read it best and brought the mark in. Got Hayes running past. They want to go quickly, do Carlton. Lemmy in a one-on-one. Snell just got rid of him. But the danger is still there. Did Snell dive on that one? Yes, he did. A free kick going to Carlton and a 50 for abuse. So this is going to be a free kick. And Lemmy wants it. And Lemmy's going to get it. The umpire's going to say, Paul, give it to Lemmy. Perhaps the umpire's got a sense of theatre as well. Lemmy is going to be gifted. Goal number 7 will be marched all the way into the goal square. Man on the mark, stand right on the line. So it's 7 for Harry Lemmy. What a performance this has been for him. He's got him in different ways. He's taken big contested marks. That one, some defensive pressure, obviously gifted the 50, but he's still earned the holding the ball free kick. 7 up for Harry Lemmy.
Snell's just going to chat to the umpire. Maybe a quick apology, but also just questioning that decision. It was pretty clear. He went to ground. He was on top of the footy, and he was mobbed by both Poole and Lemmy. It was a fairly simple free kick. He done well defensively to keep his feet a couple of times in slippery conditions, but ultimately went to ground at the wrong time.
They knew, the Carlton players. They knew Snell was on top of the ball and knew if they locked that ball in, they were going to earn the free kick out of it. It was nicely done by the Carlton players. Harry Lemmy got 7.
33 points the margin at the moment. It got up to 35 for Carlton before that Edwards goal. Get the feeling they might kick away in this final term. If you just joined us, Mills has been taken out of the game after a really handy 2.5 quarters. Hanley pulled over as well. So Carlton have the legs and they have the clearance here. Good smother from Edwards. Went to pick it up, slipped out of his hands. Green, a short kick. Back in the middle of the ground. This time, Vickery, left foot, out in front of his teammate. Slipping away from the tackle. Gets round one. Kick on goal is to the right. Nearly effort from the debutant, Sterling Phipps-Parson.
Ben Patton to bring the ball back in for the Swans. Need some goals here in a hurry. Do Sydney, 34 points down. Goes straight up the guts. McLean flew high and then tried to slap it over his head. Monahan at the full of it for Carlton. Finds a teammate. Ramshaw. Moyer shut down by Geddes. Green is there. Hacks a kick forwards. Doherty's coming back for Carlton. Eyes only for the Swans player and took him out. An excellent shepherd. Doherty will get the footy in the end. Go backwards to find his teammate in Phillips. He'll go out the other side for O'Farrell. Bowman is closing but didn't get there in time. O'Farrell did it well and earned a 50. Second 50 in a couple of minutes for Carlton. Harry O'Farrell will get the easy exit from defensive 50 and he can launch for the Blues.
I'll tell you what he did well there is accentuate that contact and a good easy out. Deep entry for Carlton. One-on-one. Harvey gets rid of his opponent, but the ball falls short and Longmire read it best. Umpire says play on. Smother attempt is unsuccessful. Took a bit off it. Outside 50 now for the Swans. Edwards is there. Quick hands to Lloyd. Then to McDonald. Outside of the right boot. Standing under it, Monahan. Marks it between wing and half forward for the Blues. Behind him is Phillips, telling him what to do.
Kick it to Lemmy.
Give Lemmy a crack at 10. He's 3 short at the moment. You never know. Outnumbered and out-heighted is Harvey. Jumping over the top. Big spoil from Will Green. Out of bounds inside the Carlton attacking arc. They lead by 34.
Michael Voss will like what he's seen from Sam Doherty getting involved a lot in the footy today as he was last week with 38 touches against Sandringham.
27 at the moment for Doherty.
Thrown back in. O'Keefe and Green in the ruck. Edwards clears defensive 50. O'Farrell tried to get the sit on Bowman. Camporeale. Inside 50 the ball goes. Bouncing ball. Harvey, that's a nice collect in the wet conditions. Hogg couldn't do anything with it. Lloyd, now a chance for the Swans. It's a dangerous kick up the corridor. Enderman, big ball to win and they lose at the Swans. Hogg, free kick though. The Swans will get away with it. High contact for Jordan Enderman. He'll want to go quickly as well. The Swans are streaming forwards. Kirk. He's got a number of options. Goes for the longest. Buller will get this back, Jack Buller. The outside of the boot for the big man. Perhaps not his strength. Just sneaks that one in for a behind. Minor score for the Swans. Jack Buller just with the 1 goal today. So he tries to make a case for AFL selection.
Phillips touched under number 18. Long kick. Escaped the area. Waiting underneath it was McDonald. Complaints from Carlton ignored. Umpire's blown the whistle. 50. Cooper McDonald will get a shot for goal inside 30 metres.
I think the player on the mark was asked to stand and then moved off his line, which was something the Swans AFL side were a big victim of last week in Essendon, or they were the perpetrators of it, and a lot of 50-minute penalties against them. The VFL side gets the beneficiaries on this occasion.
Cooper McDonald moved across from the Pies to the Swans VFL team. Reasonable day here in red and white. 17 touches, and you can now include a goal. And it's his first for the Sydney Swans. They might be behind on the scoreboard, but that is a high note for Cooper McDonald as his teammates get around him.
11 games for Collingwood VFL last season and was on Collingwood's VFL list at the start of the year and was the first mid-season transfer of the VFL season. He's been at the Swans for about 10 days and has already kicked 2 goals. 17 touches last week against Essendon. A goal today.
27 points the lead to Carlton. Been a steady stream of goals, hasn't it, this match? We've seen an entertaining one. Lemmy's got 7 of them. McMahon had an amazing 3 minutes where he kicked 3 goals, and he hasn't done much since, so he hasn't at least kicked for goals since then.
Well, Lemmy has been taking charge. O'Keefe, Hayes, inside 50. Here's Harvey. Oh, it was perfect footy until Harvey spilt the mark. Patton. Here's Chincotta, already got 1 on his return to footy. Needs the bounce, doesn't get it. Byron Laws does well to see that one over for a rush behind. Minor score for Carlton. It's all eyes to Harry Lemmy, but I think he might be on the bench at the moment for Carlton.
Chip from Patton finds Hunter. Advances the footy 15 metres up Route 1. Hunter, that left foot, so familiar to supporters of the Bulldogs and the Demons. Well, he's playing in red and white in the VFL. And he spots up a teammate in the middle. So they go straight down the highway. The entry comes from Hitchens. Can they find a grab or maybe a crumbing goal? Off the boot, out of midair. What a finish from Geddes. A volley into the back of the net. The umpires will have a chat about it, but Geddes is sure that he has hammered home a great finish. What a goal.
No arc in the VFL, so it's up to the umpires to make a decision.
Having a chat.
I think the goal umpire has given the I don't know signal.
The boundary umps have come in as well. They've said, let's go the touched. Geddes is robbed.
Perhaps a case of, if nobody knows, we go with the lesser score.
That's not a good mentality.
Is that was a great goal, let's give it to him? Does that come into the thinking?
Well, why should it not have? Oh, we don't know, so let's dial down the drama.
Doherty exits defensive 50 for Carlton, but it's coming straight back. Doherty in a one-on-one, does well. Hayes was there, missed it. Tideman couldn't get on the end of it. It's taken out of bounds. Geddes robbed of the goal of his career.
Need a bit more positivity in this game, don't we? Why do you default to the negative? Umpires have had a hard week. We won't say any more. Ball spun back in. O'Keefe read it first. It fell short. Tapped down, though. Went straight to a Swans player in Tideman. Wrestling. Tackling away here in the slippery conditions. Falls to Doherty. Won the most ball here today. His kick outside 50. Favours Hunter. Logan, the debutant, hops aboard him, rides him, and gives away the free kick. Lockie Hunter, 2 from home. He's had another productive day, Lockie Hunter. Haven't seen anyone next to him. Big kick inside 50. McLean flies, spills it. Umpire blows the whistle. What are we going to see? They look to see if advantage. Have they paid advantage for that? I don't think they have. The footy will come back to McLean, who will look to line up for his first goal. Justin, what's your fact about McLean in season 2025?
Never goalless so far this season. He's only played in the AFL, 11 goals from his 7 AFL games. And he's a perfect ratio of 1 for 1 in the AFL. He's 86 AFL games, 86 AFL goals.
He's played once in the VFL since 2022. Hayden McLean dropped this week. The game might be over, but he'd still love a major. Across the face and pushed over the line to make it behind by Hudson O'Keefe. He'll remain goalless, Justin.
Still got time, Hayden McLean. And replaced by Peter Laddams in that Swans forward line. Joel Amarty also returning from injury. He runs a long way, does Charlton. Allowed to get away with it. Up the line, Green. Indy Kirk now for the Swans. Has to snap a pressured kick. Tideman's got a couple to beat. Bowman was there too. Smith lays a good tackle. Umpire will ball it up on the top of the 50. Been a high-quality contest, this one. Looks as though the rain has just eased for the moment. Hopefully, we don't see too much more with an AFL game to come as well. Lemmy in the ruck. What are you doing, mate? You've got 7 goals on the board. Go and kick him. Chincotta tried to give to Ramshaw running past. Hunter. Swans clean it up. Out wide, the kick goes. Geddes. Nice fist over the top and kept his feet to the debutant Taj Logan. Now goes the Shepherd and does it well. Be happy with that. The Carlton coaching staff, Luke Power and the like. The kick for McMahon wins the free kick. So they'll go inside 50 through McMahon. Harvey wants it in the pocket. Goes shorter instead of going inside 50 and Nelson drops the mark. Geddes perhaps into the back of Nelson and then just slaps it over the boundary line. Allowed to get away with it all. Boundary throwing just on the edge of 50 and Lemmy's going to do the ruck work again.
We've had 15 minutes in the final quarter here. First game of round 8, the Smithies VFL. You can get it all on the VFL app. Make sure you watch all weekend. Plenty more fixtures. It's been an entertaining game here. Carlton on top in the late stages. Ball thrown in their attacking arc. Edwards hands off to Kirk. His kick was affected, so no mark. Ball comes to Lemmy. Little back heel. How about that? Nice stuff from Ramshaw. Although I don't think he knew much about it. Hands come back to Doherty. Leading possession getter. The AFL and Carlton legend kicks it forward. Hunter's over the back of the contest. Looks right, nothing there. Looks left, and without meaning to, I think that was the result all Swans defenders wanted. A rush behind. They waste no time. They're away, Justin.
I think that was a clever little fumble from Matty Lloyd. Knew exactly what he was doing rushing that one. Here's Doherty. Taken into a tackle, and we'll have a ball up. And again, Harry Lemmy's going to do the ruck work.
Hunter up to 28 disposals, right up there with Doherty. Same number.
Sitting on 7 goals, Harry Lemmy, and wins that hit out. Doherty wrapped up straight away. Wins the free kick for high contact. Doherty had a lot of the footy today, as he did last week. Playing through the midfields. Now called to play on, and he will go the patient approach. Now to Harry O'Farrell, who's had an excellent game in defence for Carlton today. He kicks long up the line. Lemmy's in a 2-on-1. Does well enough to get it across the boundary line.
As soon as you say Harry O'Farrell, there's one name that you think of, isn't there? Former New South Wales Premier, Barry O'Farrell. There's a few corporate boxes alongside us. There might be a couple of bottles of red wine in there.
Could be. I think paying member of the Sydney Swans, I believe, Barry O'Farrell.
There you go. Ball spun back in. Ruckcraft was wonderful. The tap down to Edwards. He kicked it inside the centre square, and they're going to work it out through Lloyd. Outside of his right boot, a clever angle. It was to the advantage side of Enderman, who marks inside 50. Goes back and will line up for goal. Classy inside 50 from Matt Lloyd.
Yeah, beautiful bit of play up the corridor from the Swans. It's as easy as that to go inside 50. That's the fastest way there. And Jordan Enderman, with a little bit of rain falling again, will line up for his first.
Fans out to get some distance. From right on the paint, Will it get there? No, it doesn't. Falls short. Goal square. Pick up and snap on goal is good. Lloyd, who thought he might have given the goal assist, instead ends up with the major himself. 14-12-96 to 11-9-75. 21 points the margin. We've played 18 in this final quarter. There is a glimmer of sunshine on this rainy night here for the Swans.
Great crumbing play from Matty Lloyd. 25 disposals, or that would be his 26th disposal, and 2 goals. An excellent game for him. So we tick down towards full time here. Where these teams go next, Swans play Coburg on Saturday at Barry Plant Park, so an 8-day break for them. Also an 8-day break for Carlton. They host Williamstown at Icon Park Saturday next week as well.
Doherty up to 30 touches. Leads all comers. 7 goals for Lemmy. They're the 2 headlines.
Chincotta out of the centre takes Carlton forward. Almost a terrific mark from Paul McMahon for his 4th. Lemmy's got the spotlight today, but Liam McMahon gets another haul of 4. That's his 4th 4 of the season. He's also got 2 threes in there. 22 goals for the VFL's leading goal kicker this season.
Brings up the ton as well for Carlton. So they won't lose from here. They lead by 27 points. It'll take them to a 3-4 record in season 2025 of the Smithies VFL. They've had wins now over Sandringham, Geelong, and should complete the job here against the Swans. McMahon, 4 goals. He's probably only had 5 or 6 shots on goal, so he's made it count. Harvey doing the ruck work for Carlton. Buller for the Swans. Gets a tap. Adams arrived. Tapped it forward. Buller thought, I'll do a bit more ruck work while I'm here in the middle. I'll slap it all the way inside 50. Kluski spins around. Long kick. High. And blocking was Enderman. Umpire is going to pay the mark. So Phillips relieving mark for Carlton.
Phillips clears defensive 50. Harvey's at the front of this one over his head. Chance for the Swans to go back inside 50. Edwards kicks long. All Carlton there. Charlson takes the intercept mark. Short kick. A little bit of danger on that one, but it's nicely held by Camporiali. Ben Camporiali playing, kicked his first goal as a Carlton player earlier this afternoon. His brother Lucas has been held over as an emergency for the AFL in case anything happens in the warm-up there. A long kick up the line. Harvey is the tall. McLean was there for the Swans. Poole got rid of a couple, shoveled some sort of a hand pass out. Hogg. Chincotta tumbles it inside 50. Here's Lemmy. Is that a free? You bet it's a free. Harry Lemmy's going to line up for number 8. I thought a Carlton player was going to take the advantage then. Don't take it off him.
I think Lemmy was there. Stop. No advantage,
Patrick Snell giving away the free kick. He's been a tough ask in this Carlton forward line today for the Swans defenders. They've got a lot of tools. Now, Harry Lemmy from directly in front. He's kicked 7 goals, no behinds. And his easiest shot of the day, he's thumped it into the post.
Lemmy. Still his best haul. His best before today coming in was 3 goals. So he's over doubled that. Unfortunately, couldn't get to 8. Swans out of D50. Straight up the guts. Snell is there, who was the most relieved man on the park. Gets the footy back. Pushing forward. Left foot entry. Carlton have the numbers. Monaghan's there. The Irishman arches the back. Brilliant tackle. Camporiali off to Doherty. Monaghan might get it back. No. Wilson's there. Spinning tackle. Holding the ball. Indy Kirk has the footy. Front point of the centre square. Fans out to his right. Advantage side for Green. It goes over him. Carlton have the stocks. Poole's there. Monaghan again. Short kick outside 50, but straight over the would-be mark. And taking it instead is Tideman.
So the Swans can go back inside 50 again. It's sat up high. Huge pack under this. McLean can't get to it. Falls for Doherty, and now O'Farrell. Got plenty of the footy today, Harry O'Farrell. Tideman follows up. Umpire circling this one, and he'll ball it up in front of the members' pavilion. Crowd starting to build nicely here at the SCG. Still an hour and a half until the AFL action gets underway. Plenty of members getting their seats in early. Getting a look at the last quarter of the VFL.
Misty rain falls in this final quarter. Carlton with the footy. Kirk grabs it, but he's tackled. Buller off the ground, doesn't work. Keefe picks it up for Carlton. He turns it over. Inside 50 comes to the Swans. Waiting there was Green, but arriving late and jumping in front, Monaghan. Gets a second look at it too, and has a cool, calm head as he exits D50. Mark taken by the ex-Swan, Cooper Vickery.
A high kick. Asks his tools to jump at it. McMahon does. It goes over everybody's head. Hunter. Leadler. Little hand pass working through the centre of the ground, and McLean will get on the end of the kick. Plays on Hayden McLean. Wide looking for Smith. Sits up for him nicely. Gets some good bend on it. That's a beautiful kick from Smith. Kluski couldn't complete the mark. Now a chance for Carlton on the counter. Nelson's got nothing but space in front of him. Lemmy's working into the clear. Lemmy and Snell, what an enthralling matchup it's been, and Lemmy gets the better of it again. Man on the mark about 51, and he tells the umpire, I got this, no worries, I'll have a shot.
He had two players inside 50 that had at least 5 or 10 metres on their opponent. He did not turn his head, Harry Lemmy. I guess when you're up by 28 points and you're going for 8, you might be excused.
Missed the simplest of his shots with his last shot for goal. It's been his only behind. Opens up the angle. The kick doesn't look too bad. It just fades late, and probably if it was online would have been punched through anyway. So it's 7 goals, 2 now for Harry Lemmy.
Ben Patton with the footy. Wide to Hunter. Those two have done some damage on the back half for the Swans. That kick is so poor. Down the throat of Doherty. This will be touch number 35 for the Carlton veteran, to go with 38 last week. Loses some metres there to his fellow backman, Phillips. He's had a really strong game as well, Phillips. This will be 20 touches for him and 11 marks. Up the line. O'Keefe bounced off his chest, nearly regathered it. Still in play, just. Making sure it doesn't get past was Enderman in front of the Swans benches. Carlton leading by 29 points. We've played 26 in the final term.
It'll be a win for Carlton. The Swans are going to slump to 1 win, 6 losses in this VFL season. Carlton getting back on track, a win over Sandringham last week and another win this week, 3-4. Much better prospect for them. Ball thrown in. Moya. Poole. Sits it up. Here's Lemmy and Snell once again. Lemmy did the body work, but it went through his hands. McMahon's there as well. Hayes snaps it to a dangerous area. Kirk did well running back with a flight. And they'll go quickly, the Swans, straight up the corridor. The idea was right, but the execution was not there. It's going to work out anyway because Poole spilt the mark, but it won't because it's been intercepted, and a long bomb from roughly 60 out. Won't get the distance, and Leadler will rebound for the Swans.
Snell wants his final siren badly. They are targeting Lemmy, and they've turned it over the Swans inside 50. So will they look for Lemmy again? Goes for home instead. The full forward, exasperated look as it was a behind. If you don't go for Lemmy, you better kick it straight, and they don't. 30-point margin, Carlton are up.
Lemmy's missed his last 2. He's maybe thinking, you've had your chance, buddy. Should have kicked him. Bowman. Tideman. Shovels a hand pass out wide. Doherty. Kicks Carlton forward, but it only goes to Hunter. 30 points the difference here at the SCG. Going to be a good Carlton win. Looking for Adams. He's been good for the Swans today. Wilson. That works out nicely for Nelson, who takes off. Almost went for the bounce, went for the kick for Lemmy. It was to the advantage of Snell, but Lemmy gets on the end of it and missed his boot. He doesn't want number 8. Long wire kicks him out of defensive 50. Great bodywork done by Jack Buller, and away come the Swans.
Chip inside to open up. They may as well go down the middle. Patton across the centre square. Smith marks. 2 from home. Lemmy's exhausted. He might make his way off. Swans go inside 50. Sit. Doesn't arrive in the hands of Enderman. McLean dispossessed. Busy day gets even busier for Doherty. Over the top, Ramshaw. Handball forward. That was an odd decision. Wasn't a great kick to end, but it's been a solid performance from Carlton. They've held off a spirited Swans here at the SCG.